Hi, Cari. I'm so excited to be able to visit with you today.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited for this too. So good to see you.
So good to see you too. So you are a newer member of Networked Live, and we're so excited to have you. And also, I'm so excited that you actually signed up to do this video call or this recording because a lot of people, I don't know if they just don't read their emails or what they just miss some of the benefits that they get. And this is one of the benefits of being a member
Okay.
is having this 10-minute spotlight interview so that people can get to know you. We'll post it on all of our social media channels and you'll be able to use it however you want as well for whatever marketing you want to do. But we want to help our members get to know each other and get to know you so that way when they're thinking, who do I know that does XYZ? They'll think of you. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about what you do and why you do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Cari Kenzie, I am newer to the Phoenix area, which is really pretty exciting. I am the founder of Kinza Collective, and Kinza is a leadership and legacy advisory firm. We focus on really guiding high capacity women, founders, executives, entrepreneurs, really, in developing, curating the value in their organizations, aligning their leadership so that they have the opportunity to protect the legacy that they have built, find the freedom that they built it for, and be able to transition very wealthy in all ways, in whatever that
I love
transition
that.
looks like for them. So that could be in transitioning into more of an outside, higher visionary role, which is really where maybe they want to be. It could be in transitioning in an exit from the organization. There's a lot of different things that founders look at. The reason why I really kind of fell into, but love and I'm so passionate about this work is I have built my own multi-million dollar organization. I took it from a very small satellite office with a sole person, which was me, into a multi-million dollar, 21 employee, multi-revenue stream trade show and event marketing firm. I was fortunate enough in 2019 to receive a faded text message on a random Tuesday offering me the opportunity for somebody to purchase my organization. And
Wow.
I mean, just all of the synchronicities and the way that the universe will show up is fascinating. However, I did not know what I did not know. And I did not have the advisors. I was not educated well enough around exit options. Exit was actually never on my plan in a way of transitioning fully out of and selling my organization. I joke when I give speeches that it was my retirement plan. I don't even know what that means, but too many founders, especially women, have this as an idea of like, this is my retirement.
Yes.
What is that plan for the retirement? And because of not knowing what I didn't know, I didn't have the advisors in place. And I know that things could have been done differently in order to protect not only myself, but also the wealth that came out on the back end of that transition. Women, and especially women in general want to create impact. I believe that
Yeah.
we are just innately driven to
Right.
help, to do, to create. And in that, we tend to find ourselves so focused in on the creation of that we forget to pull our heads up enough to look at the landscape of what is lying ahead in
Mm-hmm.
the ultimate future of what is the goal? What
Yeah.
is it that I would love to create this for? The legacy, the impact. And if I get to a place in my business and a transition is inevitable for a number of different reasons, so many of them are forced. Am I going to be well funded enough into my what's next to be able to continue to create impact? And so ultimately, it is in creating that wealth in time and freedom in relationships for these women that I'm so passionate about.
I love that because having, excuse me, having, my hands in a couple of different businesses, when I went into the business, my thought was not what is going to be my exit strategy. And we know that that is when you need to start planning your exit
Yeah.
strategy is, is it going to just, you don't want everything that you built just to kind of fade off into the sunset and not support you long term. And I think that that's so fascinating because you're right. A lot of times we enter into our businesses or we create a business, we step into our role thinking, I just want to make an impact.
Mhm.
And, we devote our time and our heart and everything else to building this amazing company or service or offering. And then, what happens if we get sick and aren't able to do,
Mhm.
continue on? What happens when somebody says, hey, I want to buy your business? And you're like, wait, I have a business to buy? You know what I mean? So, so those are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves as we are doing the day to day and looking at our strategy long term. And I think that that's so fantastic. And I also think it's really interesting that a lot of times we will build a business or a service out of a need that we ourselves had.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that that's kind of the best way to do it because you're like, I've walked this walk. I can tell you what I experienced when I went through this. And I know, kind of what you're feeling as you're, thinking about maybe selling your company or transitioning out or what's next for you, because maybe you don't want to do what you're doing for the next 25 years, So there's so many options.
Well, and here's the thing too, is the more I am working with these women and diving into their organizations and kind of peeling away the covers that quite honestly we like to throw over the top, right? Just to ensure that we can keep doing the thing that we want to be doing. If we had set out, and I will say this for myself too, if I had set out in the beginning with the end in mind, I would have built my business in a way that sustained me longer in the business, meaning that I would not have hit the burnout. I would not have
Mhm.
become ill the way that I had become ill. There's so many things that would have made that business so much more enjoyable. And my longevity and the vision in it greater and probably would have multiplied the impact and the revenue that I was able to make in that simply by looking at what is the long-term goal? What is the exit strategy? If it is simply, I'm going to do the thing that I want to do. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to close it down because that's is all I want to do. Fantastic. There's still a strategy in that from a financial standpoint. But if you're wanting to build a business and you go, you know what, in 15 years and 20 years and 25 years, I do want to be able to exit. And I do think I'm creating something of incredible value that maybe somebody else would want. Awesome. Put the systems into place now because it will make your life easier. Period.
Right.
Like you
Yes.
don't even have to exit in 10 years. Your life will be so much easier and you will enjoy the work that you do so much more. You may just want to stay on.
That is 100% true because when we acquired Network Live, it was Networking Phoenix then, there were zero systems in place. And so we've spent the last 4 years really just starting to get those systems in place and even just like simple automations when somebody joins that they get a welcome email, you know what I mean, just things like that so that people aren't left slipping through the cracks. And as the business owner, it takes my mind off of, oh yeah, I got to remember to do this, and oh yeah, did I do that, and has that person been highlighted yet, and just all the little details, because I think that's where the burnout comes in, is when we are trying to remember, or we have this long list of all these things that we have to do, and you're like, is this really why I started this business? It's not, because I love sending out emails. It's because I want to connect with people and help them get visibility for their business. And I want to, empower them and give them resources and connect them with others and things like that. So I am totally on that, on that bandwagon or whatever you want to call it, of having those systems in place and having a business. Honestly, we would have paid way more for the business had those systems been in place, and they, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? So instead of just using
Exactly.
like a Google Doc or whatever. So you're right. I mean, there's so many little pieces that we're not even aware of if you haven't sold a business before, of what needs to be in place. And I think a lot of us, I was talking with somebody and they said, I think a lot of times we'll start a business and we go from A to E and forget all the letters in between that we should have, in place, or we should have been thinking about. And so sometimes we have a loose foundation because we don't have all of those pieces in place. And a lot of us maybe don't even know what those pieces are. So I love that there's people like you out there to be able to help us and um, share with us your experience so that when we reach that point, if we want to exit or whatever, that we are in a position of strength instead of a position of desperation.
100%. Yeah.
Yes. So how can people get a hold of you if they want to reach out and talk to you?
Oh my God. Kinza Collective is where you're going to find us online website, and then reach out to team@kinzacollective.com, and you'll be able to get into the team and then find me through that. So
Awesome. And you're on LinkedIn and all the socials and all
LinkedIn,
that.
Instagram, all of those things, probably most active on LinkedIn, and that's where we publish our weekly articles.
Awesome. And those articles are fantastic. So it's a great resource that you are sharing with everybody. And I just love that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Well, everybody get a hold of Cari. Even if you're not planning on exiting right now, she might be able to open your eyes as to what the possibilities are. And she's just a fantastic person to know. So that's another bonus.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
You bet. And I'll link all the information as I post it so that people can get a hold of you. But thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks, Catherine. I appreciate it.
You bet.